I'm Kevin Osborne. I am the owner and the head distiller at 1233 Distillery. And we are in Little River, right at the corner of Highway 17 and Highway 90, and been here in production and with our tasting room open for about just over a year. And we produce 9 spirits on site. We're a micro distillery, the only micro distillery in the Grand Strand. And we have a tasting room that we have open 6 days a week for tastings and craft cocktails that we make here on site, as well as doing tours of the facility.
We're getting back to business, but is it business as usual or business as unusual?
We're following Government Master's lead with the opening of inside seating for bars and restaurants. And we've essentially followed all the acceleratesc.com guidelines. So people coming in, we of course give them hand sanitizer because we produce it here. And so we have that available for people walking in the door as well as those exiting. We were lucky because the space in the facility and our tasting room specifically is pretty large. We have about 3,000 square feet. So being able to space tables appropriately wasn't really a problem for us. We really didn't lose any seating. We just had to reconfigure the tasting room a little bit to accommodate that, to make sure that we had a minimum of 6-foot spacing between each of the tables. For each of our staff, we're following the, sanitize often. And so anytime anybody leaves a table, the table and chairs are sanitized. The restrooms, the door handles, anything a person could or would touch gets sanitized hourly. And of course, we're trying to keep social distancing rules in place. So 6-foot separation of people. And then if our facility happens to fill up, we've added some new things, which actually make the business a little bit more efficient. We've switched over to full table service now, which we didn't have before, but we would have people congregating around our tasting room. And that's changed now. So now we have a hostess that will seat them at a specific table. And then we have table service. We have people dedicated within the tasting room to go take their orders for cocktails or tasting flights and bring it to them. So it keeps that social distancing in place. If we are to fill up, we were actually able to download a new app for us that allows people to wait in their car, and we will text them when their table is ready. So that's been great. It's actually worked out. We've been open just this past weekend and started opening up to the public again last Thursday. And it's worked out great. It's actually made the business more efficient. Yeah, most people know already, but we started producing hand sanitizer right when the pandemic started, which was great because we were able to get back to the community a little bit. Distilleries and pharmaceutical companies are the only two that can actually make hand sanitizer because alcohol content has to be high enough to be effective, which has to be at least 60%. But for us meaning all micro distilleries in the United States that chose to make hand sanitizer, the one thing that both the FDA and the TTB told us in giving us the permission to go ahead and start producing hand sanitizer was that we had to follow the World Health Organization formula. And that is surgical grade hand sanitizer, so it's 80% alcohol. It has glycerin and hydrogen peroxide and purified water in it too. So it's actually really nice. It doesn't dry out your hands. So it works really well. Well, we got in front of it by a few weeks right when the pandemic started, knowing that we likely were going to get the permission to start producing it. So we were in the middle of our bourbon production, and we had about 1,600 gallons of bourbon mash we were about to distill in barrel. And we just repurposed it. We distilled it all the way up to 190 proof, which is the necessary amount for producing hand sanitizer. And then the other thing, there's other materials that were really scarce, still are, one of them being bottles. So for the first few weeks we were doing it, we told people bring in a small bottle and we'll fill 4 ounces for you for free. And then we donated a bunch to first responders and health organizations, health professionals, hospitals, etc. So the first 3 weeks we donated about $50,000 worth of hand sanitizer out to the community. And we were excited to be able to do that. Of course, after that, we started needing to cover some of our costs on it. So now we're still making it, and we're able to provide it to the community. Still plan to keep doing that while there's a demand for it, while there's a need for it, and we'll do that through the end of the year. We've already been given permission from the FDA and the TTB to continue producing it through the end of this calendar year. We're excited to be able to do that. So now we'll offer both spirits and hand sanitizer. One thing, we are not doing tours right now. That's the one component of our business. We're still trying to figure out a little bit, how do we appropriately social distance with tour groups. We think we'll have it figured out in a couple of weeks, and when we do, we'll resume doing tours. But right now, tasting room's open again. We're doing cocktails as well as our tasting flights. And hopefully within the next 2 weeks, we'll have tours back underway too.